One day, it could heal. Maybe. But how long would that glass sea lay silent before time's wind crushes it to holy desert? How long before palm trees and olive groves, smothered beneath poisoned ash, find courage enough to poke sprouts in search of acid rain? What is the alternative? That they were right? That the world is dead, the Savior returned, and the agonizing slog of Armageddon now upon us? Could it really be the second coming? Not an angel or a smiling face of a gentle God, but 100,000-foot pillar of flame rising to hidden crescendo into clouds higher than any but the smallest handful have ever witnessed without an immediate descent into afterlife. Jerusalem, the undying city, present now only in that law of physics that matter cannot be created nor destroyed. The atoms, all still accounted for, scattered in the valley of death. Already 5 years have passed. The end times came and went with but a moment's notice. Here at least, the prophecy lays fulfilled. The world ended, and peace reigns eternal. So shall it soon be for us all.
It is remarkable. And
973.
If we keep working on this, I think we're on track to get to episode 1000 by the end of the year. Liam and my contract to you, episode 1000 by the end of the year. It's an open buffet. You get any desire, any wish.
Said,
we're
debates,
gonna come up.
send it to that email that I said, speechfromthethrone@gmail.com. And here's the thing: we haven't gotten an email in about 25 years, but it's still there. So speechfromthethrone@gmail.com, speechfromthethrone@gmail.com. We're waiting to hear from you, and we're gonna celebrate 1,000. Just 27 more episodes to go. I cannot believe that.
The content of what we were discussing in the episode, Liam. Like it's and reminiscing about these past 30 years. I think that we've all been sort of waiting these past few years. I don't think any of us are ever expecting the podcast to go this long, because I think some of us were not really expecting civilization to go this long. I mean, I don't know if it was just the pandemic or the depression or any number of these climate crises we have seen since the start of this pod.
Right.
I don't know, these past 30, 20 even years, I feel like we just keep waiting for the next shoe to drop. And is this the year that the Civil War breaks out in the United States? Is this the year that China invades Taiwan or the CCP falls? Like, we just been every single year. Is this nuclear Holocaust day? We got to taste of it in Israel.
And definitely.
To be sure. But things didn't get, they're bad, but they didn't get quite bad enough, and so we just always are on. I love this pod, Liam. I love this pod, but I keep thinking, what the fuck is the point sometimes? If things broke down, then at least we'd have a chance. We could destroy what was failing. We could fix it. But instead, maybe we're waiting, we're hoping, we're praying. Wondering, are the Americans gonna fix it? Are the Chinese gonna who the hell is gonna get their act together and lead us out of this mess? And Liam, I'm done. I'm fucking done. Is Canada in the best spot? No. But we stay together. We've grown so much faster, so much bigger than any of us could have predicted. And yeah. we're not going to be bigger and stronger than the U.S., but, okay, maybe not the whole U.S., but the U.S. is not really a country anymore, Liam. It's not really one country. It's two. It's basically two at war with each other. And one day, we definitely could be wealthier and stronger than any individual half. And then once that happens, all bets are off. So, Liam, this is what I want to leave the people with this week, Liam. We are done. We are done with the doom and the gloom. We have done it for 30 years, and now it's time to end it. We never would have guessed the position that we're in now. The choices that we have in front of us. Do we still royally fuck it up? Yeah, absolutely. If this government is doing anything, it can fuck things up, but nothing is set in stone. This could be Canada's century. All we need to do is seize it.
And with that, thank you guys so much for listening, and we will talk to you in the next one.
I thought that was pretty good.
I actually should ask you,
think...
how about you? How are things going with you?
I mean, you mean like in terms of like life and stuff, or just like?
Yeah, I mean anything. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, things are fine. I mean, I've been pretty focused on what's been going on with the brown shirts in Quebec, like everybody else, and
yeah, of course.
The SQ's pretty deeply embedded in them and aiding the movement. So it's like it's inside and outside. It's cancer.
The commissioners even seem to be somewhat involved. Like it's very dark. No, we should definitely do a few more episodes on that. I think
I think so too, and
yeah,
like it's gripping. So I guess I've been okay, but it's hard to take my eyes off of that. And so obviously you go down a rabbit hole, right? And you're talking to friends in government, friends who have worked in the RCMP, and I know you've worked in the RCMP, and a couple of my friends told me that there's this imitator movement or something, or this parroting kind of like militia that they're kind of setting up within and without the RCMP. I guess they're called the blue shirts, and it's like it started in Alberta and BC. It's becoming quite alarming in how it's sort of gripping the rank and file of the RCMP, like the officers, and even senior leadership have been implicated, and like it's not at the stage of the brown shirts.
I haven't heard about it at all.
It's an open secret, kind of with some people in certain parts of the RCMP. It's permeated enough that it's kind of people know what's going on. It's like, so it's like you're sort of waiting for someone to blow the whistle, and I sort of thought, well, maybe we could blow the whistle. Like, we have such a wide network of people that used to work in the Mounties. Somebody, and like I obviously have the contacts that I can mine, but you must have contacts on your end that you can mine as well, and we can make this happen, and we can blow the whistle and deprive it of oxygen before it becomes as big as the brown shirts. I thought it would give us purpose again on this pod, because sometimes it just feels like we go, not really like we go in circles, but
why you think that, like, I don't know why. You're always trying to stick your fingers in it.
Well, because I want it to be good content, Jacob. What do you mean it's not our lane? Like, you just want it to be like just a jerk off sesh? I mean, I can do that by myself with my headset. Right? Like, I can put the pads on, the haptic pads on, and the headset, and I can go to town. Insane. I don't need you to jerk me off. So is this a jerk off session, or is it a podcast?
I'm not.
Like, what do you want it to be?
It's like we do in our jobs. You follow your mandate. Like, that's just not the mandate.
But what's the point of just following your mandate for 973, 974, 975 when we have a chance to actually blow something wide open? Like, aren't you grabbed by the fact that we could potentially uncover something here?
This is not.
I know, but
real.
like nobody hears about it until it's uncovered.
Like, this is,
okay, well, it is real.
Something you read.
You know Mounties more better than I know Mounties. You know how to behave. You grew up out west.
I worked in the RCMP. For years. I met my wife there. This is not an open secret. Like, this is not an open secret.
So you're gonna bring up the friends and family thing now as a reason why you can't get into this? Really? Like, you sound like every politician ever, dude.
That are going around beating up.
The Mounties are good people that haven't beat up Indigenous guys.
Like, that's not the way it works,
Jesus Christ, my dad knew a Mountie in the 1990s.
There's no conspiracy.
It's not a weird conspiracy. My dad knows a guy who was a Mountie who beat up an Indigenous man in the 1990s.
I'm sure it happens every now and then.
These things happen all the time.
That happens. But to say that there's a blue
I thought you had the
shirt
gumption
movement,
to do something, but you're so obsessed with your programs, and
I'm
your
obsessed
numbers,
with
and your
actually
little
getting
team,
things
and
done.
your,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
you're
right.
moving
I'm
your little
obsessed with
men on
getting
your little
things
map,
done.
and
yeah.
in the department
I'm
of
so
things that
sorry
don't matter.
I'm
It's
successful and able to actually make
in
things
the waste
happen
of time
in the real
division.
world. Oh Jesus, what about me? I
So
must
it's
be
like
horrible.
we have nothing to lose.
No, I
and
mean
you're saying
you
oh,
have
because
nothing to lose. Sure, like I'm sure there's nothing.
Well, what's that
that
supposed to
you-
mean? What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, God.
Like, is that directed at me in my career?
You know-
Because if so, that's pretty low. Especially coming from a fucking opioid addict. Alright? So if you want to talk about vices, you want to equalize the conversation, we can just get into that. And we can go as low as you want to, dude. But I didn't think that was going to be this kind of conversation. I'm really disappointed. But this is where we're at, because it's about your ego.
I'm
your drugs.
so done. No. That's Liam talking time is done. I cannot believe that
That
you
what?
will go
You
that
can't believe
far.
what?
After this great little holier than thou, you're gonna go after an addiction. You're gonna
you're
go
so-called
after an addiction,
progressive.
an addiction that I have admitted that
You're
I have
so-called
sought
progressive.
help for the last 15
And you don't want to blow a fascist
years.
movement
15
wide
years.
open. So
I
you
have
resort
been
to insulting
under
me
the
and
absolute
my career
cloud
because I don't have a little
of this
program like
addiction,
you do and a little
this
team like you do in the division
and
of nothing.
you would try to go so low as to bring that up. Something that I have fought
Well, you
so
went
hard
low, so
and
I
got-
had to show you
done
how it
so
feels when
much.
somebody
I've done
goes
so
low.
much still despite that. And you still are gonna puncture me with it. I cannot
Well,
fucking
yeah,
believe.
because it's all about
I cannot
you.
fucking believe
It's all
someone that
about
I
you.
once called
Because
my
every
best
single pod,
friend
every single
would
week
even
is a fucking jerk
dare
off pod.
to say that. Would
You'd rather
even
have a jerk off
dare
pod and ignore.
to say that. I can't.
Well, I
genuinely
mean
believe
that's
that.
because
no.
you don't face reality.
Shut the
You'd rather
fuck
have a
up.
jerk
No,
off
no,
pod in your little bubble
I'm hanging up. I'm
where
hanging up.
everything.
I'm hanging up. Goodbye.
All right, fuck you.
You're listening to The Wastes, Season 2. Written and edited by Jacob Kenny. Starring Liam McPherson, Jacob Kenny, Matthew Pye, and Cody Prentice. Original music by Liam McPherson. Episode 1. Because no one's happy, comrade. We're all getting sick of it, and something bloody well needs to change.
Look, buddy, you want to bring this up at the next commune general meeting, you go straight ahead. But until then, I will absolutely not bar anyone from the community just for the sake of trading vegetables.
I've already made it clear. Capitalists.
I genuinely do not understand why this needs to keep being reiterated, comrade, but this is not the party. We're doing our own thing here. You want something, you can't just quote Lenin at me. You need to convince the community.
And what if the community's threatened?
Once I see the threat in selling carrots, fella, I'll be sure to have it neutralized. Have a good one now.
Mr. McDavis.
34, 134, can
Mr. McDavis, thanks for seeing me.
Yeah, sure.
You must be busy out here cleaning up after the storm and whatnot.
Not much cleanup around here, honestly. Storm broke early, thank goodness, but lots of folks lost their homes still, so we've been helping out with
Roger
that.
on.
Well,
Unit 121.
speaking of it, in fact, that's kind of what I came here to tell you about, I guess.
You mind taking us somewhere a bit more private to chat? Just for a sec, if that's okay.
Okay, really. What can I do for you? I know you've got a job to do and all, but this really is not the sort of place where people feel very comfortable seeing a cop wandering around, you know?
Now, I honestly am coming out here as a favor, bud. But keep running the lip like that, and I figure I just as well better leave if I'm not wanted here.
No, sorry, I don't want to cause any big kerfuffle here. There's a lot of old Africville folks out here, a whole whack of climate refugees whose shacks just got blown into the basin with the last storm, and now we're even getting Mi'kmaq who keep saying their land is getting attacked. So now I'm hoping our relationship, yours and mine, doesn't have to go this way, but for them, all those people, well, and I've said this to the other people that have come out here, you other Mounties, it's usually best we do our business over the phone.
I know, Mr. McDavis. I'm well aware. That's why I'm here. Why I needed to tell you.
Tell me what?
The guys who wrecked the native...
Indigenous.
The guys who wrecked the native trading posts and all that jazz, they're coming here next. Not sure when, but it'll be soon.
Okay. Thank you for telling me this. Are you planning to post any yards or something? We freaked out, but we have some engagement, and obviously everybody's safety is our primary concern. We get a stockpile of food for 6 months.
No, Mr. McDavis. The department has no resources to do anything like that. Given the fact that it is an illegal occupation of ground land, you'd be lucky if we even came out on a 911.
Whoa, okay. What's going on here?
Okay, I'll lay it out for you, Al. The detachment is stretched thin.
You know these attacks are
But we don't
coming.
have anything close to the numbers necessary to stop them, and we're not getting any help from nobody on it. It's just us out there.
What we can do is figure out who these guys are attacking and try to encourage you to protect yourself while you can.
Is this a joke? Because I'm not really getting what the fucking punchline is, officer.
Come on, Al, bud. I don't think it needs to be spelled out.
You know, the type of people these blue shirt types are going after. You just named a few.
Ask them to go find another commie place or whatever. This one's full in the light. Get them somewhere else.
It'll be safer for everyone.
Al's face became awash in anger.
Get out. Now.
You do know I didn't have to do this, right? I'm here, doing you a favor.
Get the fuck out!
Sure. Whatever. No good deed, eh?
Al was frozen in place as the officer walked on. The only word was a simple, the hive of human activity. What had always anchored his heart in place as it buzzed around him now droned, muted, and distant. Poets spouted empty-tongued from towering soapboxes, eloquently hollow. Weavers spun invisible yarn. Brewers bottled virgin concoctions, every artist painting a blank masterpiece. In that instant, the estuary they had built there, their experimental enclave, both of and outside the world at one time, it had shattered in the once peaceful sanctity of his imagination. His mind began skipping steps, imagining brick by brick the edifice of defeat laid about them, brick by brick as foot matched foot, trudging to that location known only by himself, yet a secret he would have preferred to be borne by anyone else. The only surprise as he reached a little mound behind a garden shed was just how conspicuous it was, how anyone could have found it if they had only looked. Why could no one have looked? Why could they not have found it first?
Not today. Please.
El's
Dear
fingers
God.
cradled the warped wooden exterior of a tiny chest. A click from the unlocked, rusting latch, and almost before the sound had reached his ears, his hands were fondling the tiny
Hey,
vial.
Elle. How's she doing? Fancy finding you out here.
What did you...
We're doing the sweat lodge, remember? Now don't go telling me you were planning to stand me up again.
Don't touch me!
Sorry, Al. I didn't mean to... I'll just go.
No, please.
And like that,
Lucy.
he was alone once again.
I didn't mean it. Please, come
His
back!
head caught in his trembling hands, muffling screams he dare not cry out in sound.
And anus will become looser if you do that enough. But vaginas don't really work that way. No, absolutely. You'll be fine here. Yeah, okay.
Mr. Murphy,
Yeah,
sir.
what can I help you with?
This, good time?
Why would it not be?
Okay, well,
Yes?
Sir, I have
No, I said no, Dumbo. I don't care how ridiculous or bizarre or even inexplicable that might seem.
What?
I see you about to snicker, Jean-Francois, but Jean-Guy, whatever the fuck you are. I can see every nerve on your face about to burst into riotous laughter, and I will not have it in my presence.
I wasn't.
Not just anybody can become Assistant Secretary of the Cabinet of Foreign and Defense Policy in the Privy Council office, and yeah, there's not a single breath taken in this office that it is not done exactly in my way, in my order, on my timetable. Fuck, I don't know, JP. The whole fucking world might blow up. I swear to God, man, we are so close to the edge every fucking day. You ever see me take a sick day? No, because if I get the sniffles, the Earth gets nuked, pal.
You think I'm having fun holding all the civilization together? You think I'm having a party over here? Just a grand old time? I'm having a ball, eh? You think I'm having a ball?
No,
yeah. You're right. I'm having a fucking ball, you frog fuck. You think I don't know the Chinese are swamping Australia with migrants? I've known that since before I was a gloop of...
I know you produced a brief, sir, but I thought you wanted to do a final edit before...
Henri, and yes, I do know that's your real name. I know everything about you, you piece of shit. I know everything, Henri. Cursed college, God, it's so fucking cursed.
Sir, I have...
You speak another word, I swear to God, I will murder your entire family. I'll do it, Henri. I will fucking do it. I am so miserable, so fucking miserable. Jail would be a paradise compared to this. There is nothing stopping me. With the merest rattle of distant explosion, Jay had leapt from his chair, folding himself in the fetal position beneath his desk. Rocking back and forth, he muttered timorously, louder and louder.
Is it happening? Is it happening? Oh God! Did it happen? Is it finally happening?
Mr. Murphy, sir.
Is it happening?
It's just some dynamiting to build the new river wall, sir. We were all notified.
Though the knowledge was enough to cease his howling, Jay made no attempt to leave.
Send out the memo to PMO. Please.
Yes, sir. On it.
Just give me...
Well, the community has voted. We're not leaving. We're not leaving.
If these Mounties are too chicken shit to wear their uniforms, then what's stopping
Let's
us?
set up a trap. Smash these
They're the blue shirts. They've been going after my people all over.
It'll take weeks, but last the party. Roads are shit, but they can walk in supplies, guns, Bullets, gas to fight back. Bottles from Molotov. It'll take weeks, but I'll ask the party. The roads are shit, but they can walk in supplies, guns, bullets, gasoline, bottles from Molotov cocktails.
Are you even listening to yourselves? For God's sake, we cannot be throwing Molotov cocktails at RCMP officers, uniformed or
They're
not.
attacking our home, son. If we don't defend our land now,
But
there'll be no home for
destroy
us later.
Comrades, they'll destroy us. This place exists because the state ignores it. Not because we beat it. We will never beat it. We can only just work outside of it. That was the promise. That was the dream. That's what brought us all together. We go to war now. It's over.
We have to push back. There is no alternative. I know this is not your decision, Al, but as our community's unofficial leader, we really need you
let
to.
me think.
Al, we need to get on the same page here.
Yep, on the same page. Okay.
Son,
what about
the
this?
community voted to.
Stay. I got it. But nobody voted to fight. And if I can prevent it...
How?
I've got this. Old uni buddy, right? Back in Ottawa?
Class.
He's fairly set in with the feds. He's been looking for blue shirts in the RCMP. I mean, we literally talked about it the last time I saw him.
Which was?
El's head tottered from side to side.
A few years back.
I don't like this plan, son.
Just give me a week. That's all I'm asking. I'll get him to help us. I just need some time.
Cannot be seriously considering.
Let's start moving out the people we can, just temporarily. The old, the sick, anybody who isn't going to be helpful in a fight, I'll take them with me and I'll find another co-op to house them when I leave. Maybe if we look like we're complying...
I demand we call the question. If this is going to be our policy, I want the whole community voting.
Funny, I never would have guessed a Bolshevik to come begging for democracy. If we can avoid bloodshed, we have a duty of our... A duty to all human beings. To try.
Not to these fucking guys.
I think I see a consensus at this table. The elders endorse you, Al. You have a week. Get our people to safety and find your friend.
Good. Very good. A week it is. I'll see you all soon. Promise.
Baba, wake up! Baba, wake up! Baba, wake up, Baba! Wake up, Baba! Wake up!
Hello, this is the BBC Global News podcast from the BBC World Service with reports and analysis from across the world. I'm Clara. It's 11 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, August 9th, and these are our top stories. First to New York, where a motion to condemn
I was 25 the first time they occupied the capital.
Has passed the United Nations General Assembly before being vetoed by the United States and Great Britain. Though its Rhodesian and New Zion settlement schemes have been roundly criticized by the international community, this marks the first time since South Africa's illegal occupation began that accusations of ethnic
I
cleansing
smelled
have
the tear
passed the UN
gas,
floor.
and I heard the
Our
horn.
Washington and London
The terrible cacophony of oily, stinking, hellish engines belching noise and filth at all hours for days on end.
Although Indonesia began relocating its capital in the mid-2010s, the
Couldn't leave,
400-year-old Dutch
couldn't sleep.
foundation
I just
remained
stayed
home
awake all night, holding my ears at the edge of bleeding, watching through straining eyes as they shouted and partied and barbecued and danced, almost defying us with their ecstasy.
Finally, in Canada, Xavier Trudeau survived today an assassination attempt. The junior Trudeau's campaign...
It wasn't until the 10th day without sleep that I started gathering supplies. Bottles, alcohols, vodka, paint thinner, nail polish, anything that go up in flames. I still don't know what I would have done if they hadn't left. I was so ready. I was so desperate. I just needed it to end, anything to make it stop, anything to kill those horns. sudden halt, and Elle was awake. Elle watched as the car grew silent, the wriggling masses still as they could, shapes sheathed in shadow. A light shone in the train car, illuminating the bodies around him, their mouths covered with filth-ridden hands, eyes staring forward in terror. For a citizen like him, the worst that could come was delay. For the others, there were only rumors. People without proof they even existed, who so easily could not exist.
Just a second. Just a second.
Though they were safe for the moment, many long, harrowing hours of rickety transit were endured first, before any fleeting sense of safety crept its way back. It was like the land itself wished nothing but unease. Every mile was stretched with anxiety. Still, given enough time staring at the weather-beaten guitar case in front of him, Elle was all but bound to ask.
You play?
Rather than the man he had addressed, it was his companion, sporting a sun-faded tattered jean and blue jay shirt, who replied
Now,
back.
sorry, he doesn't talk much.
Does he play the guitar, though? Looks like a Fender, right?
Yeah, Fender.
Very cool. Where are you folks from?
America. But it doesn't help, it's saying Honduras on the birth certificate.
The guitar holder replied as well, pointing to himself.
Atlanta, Nicaragua. Yep. Worked the oranges in Georgia many, many years. Then the water came in. Whoosh.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Hurricane Andrew, right? Horrible. We actually got a lot of people up our way from that storm.
The man just shook his head, folding his arms. A furrowed look came about him.
No. Too sad. Let's not.
Elle nodded, biting his lip.
We're getting through it, man. It sucks, I know, but we're getting through it. One day at a time.
Yeah. We'll get through it.
Would you mind asking your buddy if I could borrow his guitar for a sec? Just a second. I promise. I can play him something, maybe.
The man nodded.
Yeah. Missing the G string.
Sorry, I don't know where that thing is. We'll fix it soon, though, he says.
She'll play. No need to be sorry. Don't need to fix nothing.
And so, he began to play, hoping with every pluck of the strings he could keep his fingers just busy enough to keep from clutching at the vial hung secretly around his neck.
The star above you, crystal blue. Well, oh, baby, my hair's on end about you. Floating, bumping noses, dodge your tooth, the fins illuminous. Fangs on the counters, dark below the boulders, hiding all the sunlight's good for us. 'Cause we're the fishes and all we
a nice guitar.